Born and raised in the city's underbelly, Fesser chased dreams of rap stardom. He poured his life onto tracks, raw lyrics reflecting the harsh realities around him. His music resonated. It throbbed with the pulse of the streets, a gritty symphony of ambition and despair. It wasn't long before he tasted success, albeit fleetingly. Fesser's star, however, was not destined to shine in the blinding lights of fame. The allure of the fast lane proved too strong, his life taking a sharp turn from microphone to master thief. The transition wasn't entirely unexpected. His lyrics, laced with tales of fast cars and extravagant wealth, foreshadowed a darker ambition. An ambition fueled by an insatiable hunger for more, an echo of the very streets that birthed him. The man who once held a microphone now held the keys to a criminal empire. His music, once a testament to his struggles, became a haunting prelude to his crimes. The beat went on, but the rhythm was different now. It was the screech of tires, the shattering of glass, the roar of engines pushing the limits of speed and legality. Blody Fesser had found his new stage. The city streets were his concert hall, and luxury cars, his loot. Gone were the days of chasing record deals and chart-topping dreams. Blody Fesser had found a quicker, albeit far more dangerous path to riches. His stage now was the city's affluent areas, his spotlight the glint of moonlight on polished chrome. Luxury cars, the trophies of the wealthy, became his targets. He preyed on the privileged, their expensive toys fueling his extravagant lifestyle. His methods were as audacious as his lyrics, each heist meticulously planned and flawlessly executed. Fesser, the once aspiring rapper, was now a conductor, orchestrating a symphony of crime. His crew, a motley bunch drawn from the city's underbelly, moved with precision, their actions swift and silent. They were ghosts in the night, leaving behind bewildered owners and empty driveways. Word on the street was that Fesser had an uncanny ability to disable any security system. Some whispered about inside men, others about technological prowess that bordered on the impossible. But one thing was clear. Blody Fesser was no ordinary car thief. He was a phantom, a myth that haunted the city's elite, a constant reminder that their prized possessions were not immune to the reach of the streets. The audacity of Blody Fesser's heists wasn't the only thing that shocked the city. It was the discovery of his recruits, a group of teenagers, barely old enough to drive, let alone orchestrate Grand Theft Auto. Drawn from broken homes and forgotten corners of the city, these juveniles were pawns in Fesser's game. Lured by the promise of easy money and the allure of a life less ordinary, they became instruments of his crimes. These weren't hardened criminals, but children robbed of their innocence. They were mirror images of Fesser's own past, growing up amidst poverty and neglect. He recognized their desperation, their hunger for a way out. He offered them a taste of the fast life, a glimpse of the riches that seemed perpetually out of reach. The use of minors sent shockwaves through the city. The audacity was one thing, but the exploitation of vulnerable youth added a chilling layer to Fesser's crimes. The authorities faced mounting pressure. The city demanded justice, not just for the stolen vehicles, but for the innocents stolen from those forced into Fesser's service. The chase was on, a race against time to dismantle Fesser's empire before more lives were ensnared in his web of crime. The investigation into Blody Fesser's operation was a tangled web of undercover operations, stakeouts, and high-speed chases. The police were always a step behind, Fesser always seeming to be one move ahead. The streets buzzed with rumors of his exploits, each daring heist fueling his legend. The man was a phantom, a whisper in the wind, leaving a trail of stolen luxury and broken dreams in his wake. Detective Miller, a seasoned veteran with a relentless drive, spearheaded the investigation. He knew the streets, knew the language of desperation that Fesser spoke. He saw through the glamour, the allure of the fast life that Fesser peddled. To him, Fesser was not a kingpin, but a parasite, feeding off the vulnerability of others. As the pressure mounted, so did the risks. Chases became more frequent, more daring. The whine of sirens became a soundtrack to the city's nights, a constant reminder of the battle being waged on its streets. Fesser, however, seemed to thrive on the danger. It was a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, and he was determined not to be caught. Each successful escape further emboldened him, pushing him to orchestrate even more audacious heists. Section 5. The Price of Luxury. Victims of Fesser's schemes. Behind the headlines and the sensationalism of stolen luxury cars lay a trail of victims. These weren't just faceless individuals who could afford to lose a vehicle. They were families whose sense of security had been shattered. Business owners whose livelihoods were impacted. Collectors whose prized possessions, imbued with memories and emotions, were now gone. The impact of Fesser's crimes extended far beyond the monetary value of the stolen vehicles. They chipped away at the city's sense of safety, leaving an invisible scar. The fear was palpable, a silent tension that hung heavy in the air, a constant reminder that no one was immune to Fesser's reach. The victims, once detached observers of crime reports, were now active participants in a nightmare. Their stories added a human dimension to the headlines, a stark reminder of the real-world consequences of Fesser's actions. They became a collective voice, demanding justice, demanding an end to the reign of the man who had stolen their peace of mind along with their vehicles. Living large, Blody Fesser's extravagant lifestyle. Blody Fesser, despite being a wanted fugitive, lived a life of extravagant excess. The stolen wealth fueled a lavish lifestyle, a constant reminder of his ill-gotten gains. He frequented exclusive clubs, his presence announced by the roar of a stolen engine and the flash of expensive jewelry. He surrounded himself with an entourage, each member a testament to his power and influence. His social media accounts became a digital brag book filled with images of luxury cars, designer clothes, and stacks of cash. It was a calculated display of wealth, a way to taunt the authorities and solidify his image as an untouchable kingpin. The irony was not lost on anyone. The man who once rapped about the struggles of the streets was now living a life most could only dream of, all built on a foundation of stolen dreams. Fesser's extravagance was a double-edged sword. It fueled his ego, gave him a sense of invincibility. But it also made him a target, a beacon in the night for the authorities who were closing in. His every move was tracked, every purchase scrutinized, every associate investigated. The walls were closing in, and Fesser's ostentatious lifestyle was unwittingly paving the path to his downfall. The walls close in. The investigation tightens. The net was closing in on Blody Fesser. The investigation, once a sprawling pursuit, was now laser-focused. Detective Miller, driven by a relentless pursuit of justice, was piecing together the puzzle. Every recovered vehicle, every intercepted communication, every whisper from the streets brought him one step closer to dismantling Fesser's empire. The authorities began to apply pressure. Raids were conducted on suspected hideouts, associates rounded up for questioning. The message was clear. Fesser's reign of impunity was coming to an end. The once untouchable kingpin was now a hunted man, his movements restricted, his world shrinking with each passing day. The pressure was taking its toll. Fesser, once so sure of himself, became increasingly paranoid. He trusted no one, suspecting everyone of being an informant. His once flamboyant lifestyle was now a liability. His every move scrutinized, his every indulgence a potential clue for the authorities. The game was far from over, but the momentum had shifted. The hunter was becoming the hunted. A city on edge. The impact of Fesser's crimes. The shadow of Blody Fesser's crimes extended far beyond the stolen cars and the high-speed chases. It had a ripple effect, touching every corner of the city. The affluent lived in fear, their once secure world now tainted with paranoia. The streets buzzed with rumors, whispers of Fesser's next move, speculation about his eventual downfall. The city was a tinderbox, the constant tension threatening to ignite at any moment. Public outcry grew louder, demanding action, demanding an end to the fear that had gripped their lives. The police department, under immense pressure to apprehend Fesser, poured resources into the investigation. The city held its breath, waiting, watching, hoping for a resolution. The impact of Fesser's crimes transcended the material. They exposed the stark inequalities that existed within the city, the chasm between the haves and the have-nots. They served as a stark reminder of the fragility of security, the ease with which it could be shattered. The city, once a symbol of prosperity and progress, was now grappling with a crisis of conscience, forced to confront the consequences of its own neglect. Justice delayed, justice denied? The uncertain future. As of today, May 22, 2024, the final chapter of Blody Fesser's story remains unwritten. The man who once ruled the streets with impunity is now a fugitive, his empire crumbling, his future uncertain. The question remains, will justice be served? Will he be brought to account for his crimes? Or will he vanish into the shadows, his legend living on in hushed whispers and cautionary tales? The authorities remain relentless in their pursuit, but Fesser's cunning and his ability to evade capture are undeniable. The city watches, waits, and hopes for a resolution. The stolen cars, the extravagant lifestyle, the fear and uncertainty, all are testaments to the reach of Blody Fesser's crimes. The story of Blody Fesser is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the allure of the fast life and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. It is a story that is yet to reach its conclusion, a story that continues to unfold on the streets of a city grappling with the legacy of one man's audacious crimes.